John's still in his room, needs to isolate till middle of next week. The rest of the boys have been training as normal, so bad for John, but good for everyone else.
Are we expecting to see them play?
Yeah, you can expect to see them play. They're all fit and available, everyone except for John, fit and available for the last game against Luxembourg, which is good. This is the state we wanted to get in. We've done a lot of good training work this week and we look forward to the last game.
How is the mood in the camp at the moment after the last result? You must have been delighted with that.
Good. Confident. I would say a relaxed confidence. We're not getting carried away. It was a friendly match. It was a good workout for both teams, I think. Both ourselves and the Dutch. And we could have won it, but got nicked away from us at the end. But the lads are pleased with their performance. I'm pleased with their performance. So on to the next game and hopefully we get similar.
Yeah, and bearing in mind it's your final game before the Euros or kick off, you're likely to change things up a bit at all?
Yeah, I'll look at one or two different things. I have to speak with the coaching staff and decide on getting some minutes into some players whose season maybe finished a little while ago, maybe try and get some minutes into certain players, maybe look at one or two combinations that might stand us in good stead coming into the tournament. So I've got a few things to think about overnight, but it'll be a good team that's on the pitch.
Yeah, and I know that there's been a bit of chat about building some sort of arrogance in the squad. And I know you don't kind of mean the arrogance, but the kind of the swagger. Do you feel that was there against the Netherlands, and that's something that really is being created now as you head into the Euros? That swagger, that kind of arrogance of being able to perform in that kind of occasion.
I've got to be honest. I don't like the word arrogance, but I know where everyone goes with it. It's a confidence. You have to go into these matches against the top teams. You have to go in with a belief that you can get something out of the game. I think we did that the other night, and it's a mindset that we have to take into the tournament. 3 tough games, 3 difficult opponents, but it's something that we have to look forward to. We have to relish the challenge.
And the Premier League players, obviously, that you've got in the squad, and the fact that they do play in many of them anyway, in so many big events, particularly in Europe, does that help?
Yeah, I think so. Experience helps. I've banged on a couple of times about it since I got this job, is international experience, getting used to playing international matches, getting used to playing and being successful in international matches, not losing. Is really important, and the recent run we've been on is decent, and we want to continue that into the tournament.
Just finally from me, Steve, sorry. I know that Jose Mourinho has been quoted as saying that he believes that you can take Scotland into the knockout stages of the competition in the Euros. What does it mean to you to get those kind of accolades from Jose?
I think he's probably looking at the quality of player that we've got in the squad. It's nice when a top coach, and make no mistake, Mourinho's a top coach. Was a big part of my development working with Jose. So pleased to hear those words. But listen, he's looking at the all-round strength, the players we've got in the squad, the results we've had recently. And yeah, there's a good chance that we can come out of the group. But we have to make sure that we get our preparations right. We have to make sure that we get everything right on the day when we play those games. And we have to get the points required to get to the next stage.
Thanks, Steve.
Hi, Steve. Steve, is that self-assuredness that the team is starting to show now, is that something you have to work on? We all see that Scottish trait that, sometimes we do ourselves down and we don't always believe in ourselves. Is that something that you've had to sort of try and drill into the team over your tenure?
Not so much drill in. I've got my own way of working. I've got my own beliefs. I've never approached a football match as a player, a coach, or a manager where I'm thinking we're going to get beat today. I've never thought that once in my career, and I think maybe subconsciously I've managed to put that point across to the players. We have to go. You always have to respect every opponent you play. So no matter how big a nation or how small a nation you're playing, we have to respect everybody the same. And we have to look to reach our level of performance. And if we can reach our level of performance, I believe that we can get results against most teams.
Do you think there'll be teams in the tournament that perhaps won't be expecting you to be at the sort of level that you showed the other night that they'll be expecting you to be a write-off, but you guys have shown the other night that that's not the case?
I don't know is the honest answer to that one. I know that we'll have a tough game against Luxembourg, a team that's also improved a lot. It's a good game for us. I picked both opposition for the friendly matches, thinking that Holland would play a back four and Luxembourg would play a back four, but I saw that Luxembourg went to a back three the other night, the same as the Dutch. So hopefully Luxembourg will play with a back four and we get a little bit of practice playing against a back four.
You obviously gave a couple of debuts to Billy Gilmore and David Turnbull last week. Obviously Nathan Patterson, as you say, is available. We're looking to get his first cap. I mean, what are you looking to see from Nathan if he does get some minutes?
Just if he gets some minutes, just to play the way that he's trained in the camp. Really simple.
Have you assessed his performances in training since he joined up?
Well, obviously I didn't think he was rubbish, or I wouldn't be saying what I just said a minute ago. He's done very well.
Steve, good afternoon. How big a year has it been, do you feel, for Scott McTominay?
Yeah, good. I think when Manchester United were bringing a few players in last summer, a lot of people would have thought that Scott might have been the one that was in and out of the team. He's made himself a fixture in the Man United team this year, and that's a credit to Scott himself.
Do you think that the success with Scotland has fed into the Manchester United performances in the way that his United performances will have fed into international performances?
No, I think he's just a young player who's developing all the time. If you've got a young player who's developing all the time, his performances will improve for both club and country, and that's been the case with Scott. I think an extra little bonus for us with the national team is that he's shown that he's more than capable of dropping in and playing it as a centre-back as well, which is important for us.
Have his performances in midfield for Scotland and United made it difficult for you not to play him in midfield?
Not really. Obviously, I lost two key midfield players, in Ryan Jack and Kenny McLean. Both would have been key to the way we were going to play, or the shape of the team in the Euros. Both players have been instrumental in getting us to the finals. Scott is a player that can play midfield. He's also very adapted playing at centre back. So we'll use him as we see fit, and we'll try and use him as wisely as possible.
We'll take a question from someone else. Mark, have your connection issues resolved?
Possibly. You can hear me, Steve?
You're a little bit like a Dalek. You can try.
Exterminate. In terms of your time with the players, how much are you enjoying more time with them? Because you don't get that often as an international manager.
It's been good. Lots of training sessions on the pitch is nice. Normally, there's a couple of sessions that you're actually working tactically. So we've had 7 or 8 of them across the 10 days or the 9 days that we've had so far. So no, that's been good. That's been a good part of it. I think we've nailed down 1 or 2 key points that we wanted to give to the players to try and help us to improve. And there were some good encouraging signs in the game the other night against Holland, and hopefully we get the same encouraging signs in the game against Luxembourg.
How much do you think the squad has improved since the qualifying process?
I think it's always difficult to gauge. I mean, I thought the games in March were good. If maybe not, the points total we wanted out the March games was good performances. I think we've improved a little bit. I think the confidence got a big boost when we qualified for the tournament, no doubt. And you can see that in the camp here now with the attitude of the players in training. They know they've done well to get where they are, and they want to do better. So that's a great combination.
You said there were goals in the squad, and you got goals from people who hadn't scored them the other night.
Yeah, I've always said that. Everyone tends to get bang on a little bit. I'm not going to say it's a lazy argument, but it's something that we look at. You have to score goals to win games. 2 goals against the Dutch the other night is a good return. And if anybody wants to chip in with goals, it's great. Centre back and a debut goal for Kevin Nisbet is was really good.
We'll take a question from Clyde. You need to unmute yourself.
Hi, Steve. Thanks very much. Just talking about Nisbet, I mean, his is quite a remarkable story. You must be so pleased that someone who's had to fight his way to get all the way to the top in the Premiership in Scotland is now proving himself on the international stage.
It's good for Kevin. Obviously, something must have gone wrong early in his career. You look at the talent that he's got, and you wonder how he found himself being released and finding himself in the lower leagues. He's done well. When I saw him in March, he came into the squad. I was impressed. I liked the way his movement. I liked his attitude to the game. He's a good finisher, and he's shown that when he's had his chances in the team. So he's done well, and I think lots more improvement in him as well. And he realises that, Kevin, which is a good thing. He wants to get better and better.